Hi all, welcome to the video for day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival 2013, which is actually one of my favourite days of the 4-day festival. Before we get started, I just want to say thanks for some of the comments I've had off you so far. Good to hear from some of you guys again. I also had a couple of emails saying, why don't I do tip-in throughout the year, or even anything like that really. The answer is I do. I actually am a telephone tipster, Ardent Racing. You can follow that on Twitter. And I do have a number, 0911 035 6864. All calls are £1.54 a minute, but it's actually £1.54p per call, and it doesn't matter how long it is, but I give all the advices in a minute. We do pretty good actually. We've been to a £20 stake making over £500 most months. We also do another service for cheaper for £20 a month. You actually get them emailed to you. Anyone interested in that, just direct message me and let me know. But I always do Cheltenham for free. I love Cheltenham. I love everything about it. And I will always do these videos for the likes of Cheltenham and Aintree as well, because, you know, everyone loves Cheltenham, so you've got to give something back for free, don't you? But anyway, day 2, National Hunt Chase is first up, the 4-miler here. Really interesting race this year. The ones we're focused on here, back in focus for Willie Mullins. This horse has won all of its starts this year in Ireland, but every single time looked like he was beaten and then run on from nowhere, getting up right close home. This has been over 3 miles to 3 miles 2 on heavy going, though in his younger days he had good form on better going. So I think the step up to 4 miles, bearing in mind how he sees out his races, will be perfect, and he's going to be bang there. Buddy Bolero is another one as well for David Pipe, who should go very close. The only issue I do have with Buddy Bolero is all of his winning has been in heavy, but if you win in 3 mile 2 in heavy, if you go on the better going, 4 miles shouldn't be a problem really. Interesting for Paul Nicholls here is Hawk's Point that he's got. He's been campaigned over a lot less and running well, but seems to be getting caught for toe, if anything. He's had some interesting races with the very good novice Harry Topper. I know he fell last time, but he's had a great season. So Hawk's Point stepping up in trip is very interesting. And one I do like, but I do have some question marks on it, is Tour de Champs for Nigel Twiston-Davies, currently around 20-1. He's got a great line of form through Rocky Creek. A few runs ago, he was giving him a race and a half when he came down and might have had something to say, and then was a close second next time. Yeah, Tour de Champs actually in the RSA Chase. I'm not interested in the RSA Chase because he's been getting outpointed and then staying on again, and I don't think that race will be perfect for him. But if Tour de Champs does go in this 4-miler, he could run very well at 20-1. There's obviously a virus in the Twiston-Davies yard, but you've got to take that on trust that he hasn't caught any bit of it, but that could go very well. But if I'm looking for my 1, 2, 3 on this, just based on who's declared at the moment, I think Back in Focus will take a lot of beating from Buddy Bolero, and I think Tour de Champs, even if he's not 100%. I don't think they'd run him if he wasn't, put it that way, so he's got a great chance. Next up on day 2 is the Neptune Hurdle over 2 mile 5. Obviously the talking horse here is Pont Alexandra for Willie Mullins, who's done nothing wrong, won both starts in the UK this year, beaten Size and Gold by 11 lengths last time. But the problem is here, this horse is like 6-4, 7-4, which, okay, he's looked unbelievably impressive, but the question mark is just who's he beaten? On the last day, Size and Gold came second. His one serious rival there just ran completely below par. So you've got to ask yourself, 1, who's he beaten, and 2, his only runs in the UK have been on heavy ground. Now, the argument here is his one run in France was on good ground, and he was more impressive than you could imagine, even on his 2 runs here. So, to be honest with you, I understand why he's favourite, but in a very big field, and we've seen in the past with the likes of Boston Bob, who seem to be, this horse can't lose, and even Denman in previous years, in these like Albert Bartlett hurdles, these novice hurdles and stuff like that, it's a risk to take one that short. One I do love, and I've made a bit of money on him this year, is Tacken de Seal for John Joe O'Neill. We assume Tony McCoy will be on it. What gets me with this horse is the way he travels into his race. He'll be switched off out the back. I remember at Newbury last time when they were going well up front, and I thought, he's going to leave this too late. Within a flight and a half a furlong of it, he's suddenly right on the heels. He tends to make this huge mistake when he gets to the lead. He's done this a couple of times, but I think on this, there's a lot of pace on in the race. He could get a very good toe in. The good ground, I think, will actually, looking at his breeding, I think it's going to be good to soft in places, pretty much, I reckon, as long as we get the rain at the same rate we're getting it now. I like Tacken de Seal. You can do him each way. He's currently, found 6-1 here with Coral at the moment, and that could go very close indeed. The new one's interesting for the Twiston-Davies yard. Looks to have the world at his feet earlier in the season. Got an injury and came back with a bloodless win at Warwick before being turned over close home by at Fisher's Cross. I think they made too much use of him too early, and the heavy ground that day really didn't suit him. I think the slightly better ground here will be fine. I just wonder if someone will have too much toe for him at the end. But that'll wait to be seen. Rule the World's an interesting horse for Mouse Morris. He was the forgotten horse because of Pont Alexandra over like the January, February time. Won very, very well last time. He is on the upgrade. Every race he's getting better and better. The one problem is here, once again, everything is on heavy going. What is he going to be like on? Probably a bit faster than what he's used to. Still a very good horse. And then the interesting one, whether he goes here, is Puffin Billy. He's looked outstanding on both, well, a couple of times before his last run. He looked really, really good. Obviously, got well and truly beaten by Melodic Rendezvous, but he was jumping left there, and they did find out that he had pus and infection in his foot, which has been drained now, and apparently racecourse scouts have been satisfactory. The one thing put me off there is anything like that, like 3 weeks before the festival, it really, really does make me worry. But he's a cracking horse, and if he can get over these quite quickly, which I know they can, it could be an interesting pick. But my 1, 2, 3 I would go for here is, it's nothing revolutionary really. I'd go for Taquin de Seal from Pont Alexandra and the new one. The RSA Chase is always one of my favourite races. I do love it. And the favourite at the moment is Dynast. The wild card here is Dynast is entered in this, and also the 2.5 mile, the Juice and Novices as well. I've got a feeling he's going to go for this 3 mile. The David Pipe team do tend to put their best staying novice chaser in this, the likes of Grand Cru last year, and I think Dynast is jumping has been absolutely outstanding this year, and I think that is the one thing that's going to put him in good stead. The other thing he's got as well is a brilliant chase win on his, I think it was first or second start over the course. And, you know, he's got good hurdle form over here, and I think that will stand him in very good stead. Boston Bob has had a great season as well. He's improved all the time and will have a great chance. The one issue I do have here, I was looking back to some comments when he was beaten at a short price last year, and his trainer actually said, and I've got the quote here, "Oh, it looks to be going fine coming down the hill, but this course can catch you out. He got very unbalanced, and by the time he could get on an even keel, he was coming home all too late. He let himself go too freely down the hill, but he's never been on a course like this before." The worry we've got here is he's never run back there since. Yet he might have thought, oh, okay, I've run there, I'm going to run better. But, you know, it's a year on, and, you know, if he didn't take to the course 100% last time, what's to say he's going to do it this time? We just don't know. But he is a lovely horse, gorgeous horse to see as well. I've seen him in the flesh a couple of times. Really well built. He was a chaser in the making. And I think if they keep him covered up a bit more this year, then it couldn't be a problem. I think he's going to go very close. Gulan for David Pipe as well is an interesting one. I really wanted to back him in the 4 miler, and he came out yesterday and said he's going for the RSA. That's what the connections want to do, and it's their right. He won very well at Betherby last time, getting up on the line, but I do suspect he needs every single ounce of this RSA trip, and I think there's going to be too much toe in here from a lot of people. I think he's likely to be staying on, and he'll give you a cracking run for your money at 14-1. I just can't see him winning it. Hadrian's Approach is interesting. He's not really been what you call a winning horse this season, but he has improved with all of his runs, running very well at Kempton over Christmas. What draws me to this horse is it's Nicky Henderson, and Nicky Henderson loves this race. He won it last year with Bobsworth. He's run it in the past with the likes of your Trebolgans and stuff like that. And this Hadrian's Approach, it could be improving. Is he improving fast enough? I don't know. But the fact that the stable love this race says a lot. While Union East won over this distance last time at Cheltenham, but the bit that keeps drawing me to that, while it was pretty good, he was off a very low weight in a handicap. Is he a thorough stay-in chaser off level weight? I'm not 100% convinced. I might be totally wrong, but I'm not 100% convinced. I also think he could be marginally better on a flat track, because I actually went to Aintree when he won on either his first or second start, and he had, the thing is what got, he had a brilliant turn of foot. And I just don't know if over this trip he'll have that same turn of foot, to be honest with you. But okay, but we've got to look for a 1, 2, 3. I'm looking here for Dynast if he runs from Boston Bob. And I really think Gulan can run a very good race at 14-1. He could go there and sneak into the places, I think. The Queen Mother is all about Sprinter Sacra. This is well and truly a wonder horse over 2 mile. There's been some fantastic 2 milers over the years that have won this. Viking Flagship Uberalis, Moscow Fly won it a couple of times. And Sprinter Sacra is right up there with the likes of him. He's looked unbeatable, and can I see anything beating him? No. He is. I think he's that good. The only thing that I think can beat Sprinter Sacra is himself. He is so exuberant. But he's got course winning form. He walked the Arca last year. The only thing that worries me with this horse is potentially, I think he'll be bang there until the 3 out the downhill fence because of his exuberance. The only thing I can see going wrong is he overjumps the downhill fence, but He's jumped it many times before and it wasn't an issue. I can't see it. So realistically, 1 to 4 is not a betting proposition, so we're looking for the each way. Size in Europe is a horse very close to my heart. I've tipped him up on these videos for the Arkle when he was 10 to 1, and then the following year when he won. And last year when he was just touched off by Finian's Rainbow. I think he was very unlucky last year. He was cruising, he was jumping well from fence to fence, and then they missed out a load of the fences and he had to take evasive action in the home straight and got beaten a length. If they had to jump the fences, would he have won? Yes, I think he would have beaten Finian's Rainbow. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but I really do, because this horse's asset is his jumping and his engine. His best chance is to go from the front and try and get any mistakes out of Sprinter Sacre and try and draw the finish. The one worry there is that he does what Sanctuary did in the Tingle Creek and just get completely knackered out before the end and ends up fading. Miel de Bièvre for Tom George run a great race for so long in the Denman Chase on his UK debut before literally the shotgun came out and he ended up coming 5th. Dropped back to 2 mile, they think will be in his favour. He didn't seem to have bags of pace. Great jumper, but not the pace that I think that goes with this. But saying that though, they forked out £17,500, so they're looking for a top 4 finish, so they must think he can really come in the top 3. The others are much of a muchness really. Summersby runs well but makes too many mistakes at this level. Wishful thinking, in and out. Wouldn't shock you if he came into the places. Sanctuary has just gone off the map this season. I don't know what's wrong with that horse. Bar Kempton, I think there could be a breathing issue there. Wouldn't surprise me if that came out in the summer. While last year's champion Finian's Rainbow has not been at the races this year. I don't know what's going on with him there. So my 1, 2, 3 is Sprinter Sacre from Size in Europe and Miel de Bièvre. I will be back in Size in Europe each way on that one purely for I'm not back in Sprinter Sacre at 1 to 4. Very quickly on the Coral, because there's 120 horses still left in this. If it runs, Tennis Cap for Willie Mullins looks like it's ahead of the handicapper. He's 12 to 1 at the moment, but he's got multiple entries. Last time out, he won very, very easily, and I think he could have snuck in here. He's 12 to 1, pretty much the favourite. He could run well. Prospect Wells, as long as it doesn't get any heavier, is very interesting off 11 stone 8 currently. If none come out. The step up to 2 mile, 3 and a bit seemed to be in his favour. 3 mile was too far last time. He's run well at the course before. The trip is perfect. He could run very well. Master of the Sea is improving all the time, but his form generally is on heavy going. But then again, that horse is improving at a rate of knots. While interesting, Tamco Enery is 25 to 1 and he's entered there and he's also entered tomorrow in the Imperial Cup. If he wins in the Imperial Cup, I think they're going to go for this. And this is something that the Piper stable have done a couple of times here. So keep an eye out for that. I don't think he's good enough to win it though. An interesting one here is Ollie Sherwood's Many Clouds. Won very well at Exeter last time. And this horse is really highly thought of. I think he could sneak in. He needs about 20 horses to come out by the looks of it. But this Many Clouds, if that runs, there'll be worse each way bets than Many Clouds. If it was coming down at the moment, it'd be Tennis Cap. But keep an eye out for Many Clouds wherever he goes at Cheltenham. The Fred Winter's very similar to the Coral, loads with multiple entries. The one I will mention here, though, which I think is interesting, is Stockton's Wing. He really beat a Willie Mullins hot pot last time out, and he seems to be getting better with each run. He's very, very consistent, and he stays very well, and I think that's going to bode him well for this Fred Winter. He's done well in big fields, and this horse could run very well. He could be another under the radar. There's a big word in Ireland for Heartside of Noel Mead. He's on 10 stone at the moment. He needs 13 horses to come out, but he's another one who's been waiting for the better ground. Yeah, it may be soft, but soft is like, goods are soft in Ireland, are soft over there. Heartside could be very interesting. He's currently 20 to 1. Somatigal for Paul Nichols, who generally has a go in this race. He's too inconsistent. One good run, one bad, one good, one bad. If you want to take a punt, he might run a good race, but at the same extent, if you said he comes last, you wouldn't be shocked. While Pistol for Philip Hobbs has improved all season, got quite a bit of weight. But yeah, I think he's another one who will appreciate the better ground. But for the moment, I'd be focusing on the 2 Irish horses, which is Heartside and Stockton Wing. Remember, you do inevitably get a big price win in this. Finally, in the Champion Bumper, it looks the most open bumper in years here. The interesting horse is obviously Gone and Thierry, brilliant over points, outstanding on his first debut, been bought by major connections for a lot of money since then. And the way he cuts through horses is so impressive. On the British charge, Richard Hughes, the flat jockey, is down for Sergeant Reckless. For Mick Shannon. Mick Shannon's obviously a flat trainer who knows it to win a bumper, but I know they think a lot of this horse, and his wins last time out were both very interested, and he is on an upward curve, 10 to 1. He's interesting. Levant Darnans for Liz Doyle from Ireland is another talking horse in Ireland, but only run once. will he be any good? Same with Shield, improved from first to second time out for Aidan O'Brien. Don't think he's good enough here. And there's two pipe horses, View, Lion Rouge and Dr. Harper, who I don't think are good enough. My 1, 2, 3 here will be Sergeant Reckless from Gollantier and Levent Donant. Okay, day 3 tomorrow. Cheers.